All right, we are live. We are live. So let me give it a minute or two. So hopefully we have some people show up and then we can get started. While we are waiting for people to show up, because I am going to post this as after we're done, even though it won't be live. So even if no one shows up, I will get this posted. But while I'm waiting for people to show up, I am also looking to try and find places to have live town halls in each of the small communities in Nevada as well. I hate to call it small. So if you have any ideas where I would be able to have a town hall meeting, you can leave that in a comment, or you can reach me through my website, tparent.weebly.com, and let me know of places you think where I might be able to have a town hall. We have someone here now, so that's good. All right, let me get things set up and then I will get started. Like I said, if someone comes in late or if someone isn't here and wanted to see it, you can let them know that it will be posted as a video afterwards. So welcome to my virtual town hall. And if you have joined me for one of these before, I do apologize because I tend to somewhat repeat myself, but I do hope we have some new people show up and this isn't all repetition for them. So today I want to talk about my vision for District 51, and I really do want to hear your vision as well. If I win this election, my job is to create the community and the future we want for this district and the state. So feel free to leave feedback or questions in the comments. I will check that when we get done and try to make sure to answer any questions that are left in there. I am running to be state representative for District 51 because I have lived almost my entire life here. I absolutely love Iowa, and it breaks my heart to see how it has changed in the last few years. I know we are currently pretty divided, but I honestly believe that we still have more in common than separates us. I think we all truly want the same thing, a safe community that provides us with the opportunity to live a good life and a healthy life. My goal is to be a public servant to all residents of the district, whether Democrat, no party, or Republican. I want to work to create an economy that works for all of us living and working in this district. What we're doing now isn't working. According to the March labor force update from Common Sense Institute, Iowa's overall job growth rate for the previous year was ranked 46th. Iowa lost 2,200 jobs in the first 3 months of 2026. At the same time we're losing jobs, we have a low unemployment rate, 3.3%, and the labor force participation rate is 67%, the third highest in the nation. We're losing jobs, and we do not have the workers to support any new jobs. We cannot grow our economy when we don't have workers. To attract new businesses, we have to be able to keep our youth in the state. Iowa has a huge brain drain problem. We do not have the college-educated workforce we need to provide workers. For example, Emerson in Marshalltown has had such a hard time finding workers with a degree in their desired field that they've pivoted to hiring workers who have any degree and will train them for their specific company needs. We can't do that with doctors and nurses and lawyers. So why are so many of our young college-educated people leaving? I was not focused on the well-being of its citizens anymore. Why would young people want to stay in a state where the minimum wage is $7.25? 5 of the 6 bordering states have a minimum wage over $11. We have to be able to offer wages that will allow people to have a decent living and pay their rent without having to work 2 or 3 jobs. With all the talk of lowering property taxes, the state knows people are struggling. Yet their solution was to put a 2% cap on property tax growth without capping the assessment values. That means that you might still pay more in property taxes if the assessed value of your home increases. The state needs to put a focus on increasing affordable housing, not fancy new homes that are priced above what most people can afford, but truly affordable housing. Iowa's public schools have gone from being the envy of the nation to the middle of the pack. They actually just came out with the report today that placed Iowa at 27th in the lower half for the first time. The last legislative session saw a lot of bills that were very much anti-public education. They once again approved a funding increase that was less than the cost of living increase. We are seeing schools cut back on staff and services and programs because they are losing funding. We can't hire and maintain high-quality teachers. I just retired after 32 years in education, and I can guarantee there are more culture war criticisms than there are true efforts to help bring our schools back to top quality. We have to stop giving money to private schools with no accountability. This last session saw an increase in private school vouchers and then requiring public schools to provide services that are not offered in those private schools. But it doesn't come with any funding. We have to bring back a fully funded AEA to work with our most vulnerable children. Privatization has not been a benefit in many areas the state has implemented it. Privatizing Medicaid is another area that has not helped. It's caused loss of services and longer wait lists. The state currently has a $22 million lawsuit against Nucara Pharmacy, the pharmacy the current representative of District 51 is a vice president of, for non-payment of HIV medication funds. That's not efficiency. That's corruption. Iowa now ranks 44th in the nation for doctors per capita and the last for the number of OBGYNs. And we have to fix this. It's hard to retain doctors in a state that became the first to vote on eliminating vaccination requirements for school enrollment. Thankfully, that one did not pass. However, they did pass a law making ivermectin available over the counter. They attacked women's health care, they attacked gender-affirming care, and made it okay to force conversion therapy upon foster children. Why would a doctor want to come to a state that ignores science in favor of conspiracy theory, junk medicine, and makes it harder to pay? And why would any young person want to stay here and start a family where they can't get proper health care? We're at the top of the nation for new instances of cancer. We need to recognize that Iowa has some of the highest binge alcohol consumption in the nation. How many times have we seen on the news that Iowans travel for college sports and manage to drink the host city dry? It's a point of pride. But binge drinking is also a high risk for cancer. We need to better educate people on the personal choices they make that can put them at higher risk of cancer. We also know we have to clean up our waters. The Des Moines Water Works just issued another water conservation due to nitrate levels. Yet the state has reduced its direct funding to monitoring waters. And at some point, we need to do more than just monitor. We need to take actions to reduce the nitrates entering our waterways. We know how to do it, but lobbyists keep pushing for voluntary reductions. That isn't working. I absolutely agree. It's best to do voluntary reductions and incentivize good land stewardship. But when that fails, we have to penalize those repeat offenders. At the same time, we have to take care of our farmers and rural communities. As a farmer myself, well, mostly retired now, I know how hard it is. And in the years since I sold my farm to my nephew to pass it on to the next generation, it's only gotten harder. In the last 40 years, Iowa has changed from a diverse crop base to almost exclusively corn and soybeans. It's the insurance and seed and chemical companies who determine what farmers can grow. This is reinforced through government policies. Now, farmers have no true choice in what they grow if they want access to subsidized crop insurance and operating loans. But tariffs have tanked the market. They can barely force through E15 for the summer, much less year-round sales. The war in Iran is driving up fertilizer and fuel costs. Bankruptcies and suicides are increasing in our farming communities. There is no overnight fix for our agricultural crisis. It takes time to change land use from row crops to regenerative farming practices. But we have to start making the change. We need to level the playing field to support our small family farms, stop the consolidation of farmland into a few corporate farms, and make it easier for farmers to grow actual food rather than supporting a biofuel industry. Imagine that. Using some of the world's best farmland to grow food to be consumed and processed locally. Right now, Iowa is importing 90% of its food, and that is crazy. Instead of incentivizing only corn and soybeans, we should be incentivizing actual food. Instead of handing out tax credits to data centers that barely provide any full-time jobs after construction, we should be incentivizing canning and milling and butchering for food to stay local and be sold in cooperative grocery stores to help eliminate grocery deserts. And if we do all of these things to help keep our young people in the state and help them have a decent standard of living, we'll be able to attract and support new businesses. It all ties together. What helps our people helps our economy. And my goal is to help move the state in the right direction to give everyone a fresh start. So that is my little spiel for the evening. Hopefully you've heard something that haven't heard me talk about before. If there are any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section. And like I said, I do want to do some of these in person, but it's kind of hard finding them in all of these teeny tiny little towns where I can do that. So if you have suggestions on where you can put anything, let me know. Thank you.